So namaste children, today we are going to discuss about the reactivity series of metals. So metals will arrange in a series column based upon its reactivity or chemical reactivity. The arrangement of the metals in decreasing order of their reactivity, it is called reactivity series. If you look at here, this is the reactivity series. In this reactivity series, the top is the potassium and the bottom is the platinum. Here if you observe, the potassium I named as the most reactive metal, means which will be reactive more with another elements or another compounds. Followed by the sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc. Like that, the reactivity of the metals in decreasing order. Here, if you observe the magnesium and as well as if you observe the lead, the magnesium is more reactive than the lead because the reactivity of the metals are in a decreasing order. We can say easily by seeing the reactivity series which metal can displaces the another metal from the compounds. For example, if you look at here, iron I am taking and I am taking the copper sulfate. Iron is above the copper in the reactivity series, means iron is more reactive than the copper. So means iron can displaces the copper from its compound, means it can occupy the copper place. So that what we can get iron sulfate plus copper. So like this, the metal which is having the high reactivity can replace the or can displace the low reactivity metal compared to metal. So this reactivity series will tell us which metal can displace another metal. As a part of the chemical properties of metals, now we are going to do when metals react with the acids, what it is going to produce, what will happen in the reaction. So here, when metals are reacting with the acids, they are going to produce the respective salts and hydrogen gas. Means when any metal is reacting with the acids, it will produce the respective salt of that acid and as well as the hydrogen gas will be evolved. For example, look at here, when zinc is reacting with the sulfuric acid H2SO4, according to reactivity series also you can say zinc is more reactive than the hydrogen, so zinc can replaces the hydrogen here. So here, then zinc is occupying the place of the hydrogen, it will form zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Like that, when metal is reacting with the sulfuric acid, it is producing the zinc sulfate, means respective salt and as well as the hydrogen gas. Now, when magnesium is reacting sulfuric acid with the help of the sulfuric acid, this magnesium is also more reactive than the hydrogen, so it will displace this. So we can get magnesium sulfate plus H2 gas. In the both cases also, if you observe, when metal is reacting with the acid, it is producing the salts and as well as the hydrogen gas. Here we have an activity to tell about the how metals react with the acids. Is the metal is reacting with the acids for every metal, is it same? No. If you observe the reactivity series, the copper, gold, platinum, silver, mercury, these all are below the hydrogen. Means will they react with the acids of containing of the hydrogen? No. So means the metals which are above the hydrogen in the reactivity series will react with the acids and can displace the hydrogen from the acids. So now we are going to do one activity, how different metals will react with the acids, what they are going to produce, and even when non-metal also reacting with the acids, how it is going to produce and what it is going to produce, that also we are going to study. So here, in order to show how the different metals react with the acids, for that I am taking 6 test tubes. Here, these are the test tubes. I am naming them A, B, C, D, E, F. In these 6 test tubes, in the first test tube, I am taking the magnesium ribbon. In the second test tube, I am taking the aluminum foil. Third test tube, I am taking the iron nail. In the fourth test tube, I am taking the copper wire. In the fifth test tube, I am taking the carbon or coal. And in the sixth test tube, I am taking the sulfur coil. So these are the 4 metals and 2 non-metals I am taking. In each test tube, I am adding the 5 ml of HCl with the help of the dropper. I am adding slowly. While adding, I am stirring it properly. So after adding the 5 ml of HCl in each test tube, I observed many changes in many test tubes. Here in the test tube A, if you observe, the HCl is reacting with the magnesium and producing the gas bubbles. In the aluminum also, aluminum is reacting with the HCl, also producing the gas bubbles. They are producing rapidly, means the reaction between the magnesium and as well as the aluminum is more, means they are producing the gas bubbles very fast. When we are adding the HCl, it is producing. Compared to the magnesium and aluminum, iron is not producing the gas bubbles very quickly. It is taking some time. After some time, I observed that the gas bubbles from the C test tube also it is coming. But I was shocked to see this. The D, which is contain the copper wire, it is also a metal, but it is not producing anything. And even in the carbon test tube, means coal, and sulfur test tube, also I am not able to see any changes. Means what we can say that is this magnesium is reacted with the hydrochloric acid and aluminum is also reacted, iron also reacted, but the copper, carbon, sulfur is not reacting with the acid. Why it is not reacting? Why the copper is not reacting? Because as we discussed earlier, in the reactivity series, the copper is below the hydrogen. If it is below the hydrogen, how it will be displaces the hydrogen from the HCl? So that's why the copper is not able to displace the hydrogen from the HCl acid. Whereas here the non-metal is not showing any reaction. So that we can conclude that is the metals which are reacting with these acids are producing some gases, and whereas non-metals are not producing any gases, are not showing any reaction. Whereas copper, which is least reactive or less reactive than the hydrogen, that's why it is not able to do any reaction. Okay, fine. Now what is the gas here evolving? We need to know it is. For that reason, I bought a burning matchstick to near of the test tube. The gas, whenever it is touching with the burning matchstick, it is giving the pop sound. With the help of the pop sound, the burning matchstick glowing with a blue flame. So I came to a conclusion that is, yes, it is a hydrogen gas. The hydrogen gas only having the property that is giving the pop sound of the burning mastic and produces blue flames. So here, like that I identified in the three cases hydrogen gas, but whereas here no reaction. Okay, so now if I write the equation here, when magnesium is reacting with the HCl, it is producing the magnesium chloride, means respective salt plus hydrogen gas. Now, when you look at here, aluminum is reacting with the HCl. Aluminum chloride is formed plus H2 gas. If you look at the iron whenever it is reacting with the HCl, it is producing the iron chloride plus H2 gas. But whereas the copper plus HCl, no reaction, carbon plus HCl, no reaction, sulfur plus HCl, no reaction. So from this activity, what I can give the conclusion here, the metals when they are reacting with the acids can produce the salts and as well as the hydrogen gas. And this production of the salt and the hydrogen gas for all the metals will not be same. Why? Because some of the metals are below the hydrogen of any acid. They cannot displace or they will not do the reaction with the acid. Here in this case, it is proved here, copper is least reactive or less reactive than the hydrogen. That's why it is not reacting with the acid. Whereas the non-metals, these non-metals also not doing any reaction with the acids. So what we can do the conclusion here? When metals are reacting, it produces salts. When non-metals are reacting, no reaction will be occur with the acids. So till now we discussed about when metals react with the acids, they are producing the salts and as well as hydrogen. Now when the metals are reacting with the bases, what it is going to produce? Here, if you look at this formula, metal plus base, it also produces the salts plus hydrogen gas. Means if you look at here, when metal like aluminum is reacting the base of sodium hydroxide, when you take the water to become a solution, here this produces the sodium aluminum and as well as the hydrogen gas. So here if you look at one activity, in this activity I am taking a test tube. In the test tube I am taking 2 to 3 pellets of the sodium hydroxide with the help of the plastic stapler. 2 to 3 pellets. So here this is the sodium hydroxide. I am adding some amount of water in this and I am shaking this test tube so that what will happen, it will produce the sodium hydroxide solution. A fresh solution will be formed. In that I am taking the sodium hydroxide solution, I am taking aluminum foil. When aluminum foil is mixed with the sodium hydroxide solution, it starts producing the gas bubbles. When it is starting producing the gas bubbles, I brought a mastic which is burning, so that what is happened here, this burning mastic is producing a pop sound. So whenever it is producing the pop sound, so we can conclude it is a hydrogen gas. So means when aluminum is reacting with the sodium hydroxide, it is producing the hydrogen gas. The left part which is in the textbook is nothing but sodium aluminate, which is a salt. So means here this aluminum is more reactive than this hydrogen, and it displaces this hydrogen from the sodium hydroxide. Means the metals which are more reactive can displaces the elements from the compounds, from the base, can do the reaction like sodium, aluminum, magnesium, potassium. These all can do the reaction with the base. So what is the conclusion we can give here? When metal is reacting with the base, we produce the salt and as well the hydrogen gas. What about non-metal, sir? These non-metal, when they are reacting with the bases, it is very complicated issue that you will start learning in the higher classes.